Hello and welcome. Silrace here with Star Citizen. Let's talk about the 3.0 update. Because once it comes out, it will be the greatest thing ever when it comes to video games. You will be spending all of your time in Star Citizen instead of playing all those other games available for you on various stores and so on. No. The 3.0 update will eat all of your gaming time. You can be assured of that. Enough of that. I am not a marketing person for a reason. I prefer hard facts, actual numbers and details over, just hyping things up. I am not very good at hyping things up, and I don't really try to pretend to be either. I want to know how things actually are. So with that in mind, let us take a look at the Star Citizen website and the actual 3.0 production schedule report. And I want to go through this and also give some of my thoughts on some of these things here. And also talk a little bit of why, from an outsider perspective, the 3.0 has been delayed as many times as it right now has. Like, it has been pushed back multiple times, and I can see very good reasons for that. Just by going through this production document, or production schedule. But I wanna go through some of these things here also. And, well, if you really wanna read some of this, because I am not obviously going to read all of it out loud, pause the video or go to the actual Star Citizen website. You will find all of this there. So first of all, this whole welcome section, I absolutely love this. I wanna hug every single person who was involved and included in making this, giving this information out to us. Because this explains many things to anybody who actually reads this, instead of, just bypassing it as a bunch of words. First of all, it tells us exactly what kind of tools they are using for project and task scheduling, right? Actual tools. We can now go and check out those tools for ourselves if we so desire. But also, this actually tells a lot about game development to anybody who has never actually, developed a game. Because let's be honest, most of the people who play video games are not computer savvy to the point where you could, have them making video games. Most of them don't really know how the process truly works. And a lot of time goes to just tasks and subtasks, in what prioritization order and so on, what is being focused on, and how are these tasks, being scheduled. And they use different tools for that, obviously, to help it out, but it still eats time and it eats manpower to do so. And so thank you very much for all of this info, and also big thank you for this thing. How many developers tell us all of these things? Like, what do we see as possible problems to our project? Well, let's tell that to the folks who we are making video games for. How many developers actually do that? Not very many. So this thing where you actually tell us what actual tools you use and explain out that, yeah, this takes time, and also these are our possible big problems. This kind of openness makes me trust the company so much more right away. Because they're like, yeah, we have these as possible problems. And this kind of problem, like what is the various problems or various possible problems for your project, this is very basic stuff. If you are never been part of actual projects, yeah, you could do this with basically anything, which is a massive, any kind of a bigger project than, cooking your dinner. And even in cooking your dinner, if you decide to write it down, you could jot down a whole list of things which are possible problems with just making your lunch. Anyway, Anyway, thank you very much for all of this. So, welcome to the process, and note this date, September 29th, 2017. I am doing this in the very beginning of October, so if there has been changes to this document since this video and so on, something is not included in this video, that may have come after this update. So note that date. Because Star Citizen is in the, well, alpha stages still, game is being developed, all of that good stuff, things will change. Alright, so the bug progress, this is something I am personally always interested in, because frankly the truth is, you can release kind of a simple game, as long as it's bug free and glitch free, there are no problems with the game, people will enjoy that game to an extent. As soon as you start having bugs, problems, glitches in a game, it causes frustration to the consumer, to the person who bought it and realized, okay, my money may not be well spent here because I can't play or I'm not enjoying the gameplay for various reasons, such as, for example, my character falling through the world, being stuck, and I have to save, load a save game, and then it happens again, and I have to again load a save game. Things of this nature cause massive frustration to the consumers, so I am interested in seeing these massive lists. And typically these lists are massive. And yeah, you could say that is a bad thing, like there were all of these bugs. No, the main thing to take out of here is that these are all bugs which have been noticed and hopefully fixed. Of course, updates may review or renew all bugs, so on, things of that nature. But yeah, at least all of these bugs have been fixed. Fantastic. From my point of view, at least. That is my experience on it. Fantastic. And this ongoing polish patch, well, polishing of the user experience. User experience is very important when it comes to video games. Making things work in a fashion which makes sense to people, which is easily understandable, so on. It is very important to get people to actually drawn in from the first moment they put their hands on your game to the point where it's like addicting almost. So yeah, this is very important. Alright, remaining work required, and then we have a big list of things. First of all, these planet details here, I am obviously not going to read these out loud. Pause the video if you want to read them, or just, go to the Star Citizen website. Read them on your own time there in peace. Because for me, all of this is awesome little, market speech, essentially. I just view it as a market speech, as a sales pitch for this particular planet. And I get nothing but questions out of this. But when I read something like this, I get nothing but questions. Okay, so as an example, can I walk on this planet without dying? Can I go there and walk there without dying? Highly corrosive clouds of gas. Will that damage my ship? If it damages my ship, what kind of damage does it do? Will it kill the engines? Is it just going to rust the paint off? So on. So like, for me, this is nothing but questions, and I apologize about that, but that's just how my brains work. And so I can't just read this and be like, oh, awesome, and then go and hype that out to somebody else. For me, no, it's like a bunch of questions. Alright. So let's move on beyond that before I get on with those questions. These kind of little things, fantastic, tell us more about all sorts of new things you have upgraded and updated, which is fantastic. And then there is a mission givers set, and which was also moved forward again. But there is already complete section, which is fantastic to see. Like, all of this stuff is done. Okay, that is really good. Like, look at this list. This is a big dang list. of things which is already done. Awesome. Now, cockpit experience was really bad, especially in certain ships, and this being, put on is fantastic. Especially the VFX and audio parts in certain ways to me felt very lackluster. However, I am not an audio slash music enthusiast, so I haven't really spoken about it too much. But eventually, well, if it doesn't improve, I'll probably will. Anyway, but it just felt really lackluster in certain cases. But once they update all of this, maybe, hopefully it will be awesome. I mean, their first #1 priority is quality after all. That's what it says in their KVAT list as a #1 point, which is fantastic. That should be the #1 point in every single game developer and publisher, last. Quality. Unfortunately, that doesn't seem to be the case. Anyway. And already complete in the gameplay section, Crusader converted to object container setup. That is going to be so good. Each point of interest is now an object container laid out via the solar system editor. Object container streaming, seamless transitions from different points between star systems. This is going to be so freaking good if they do it correct. It means you will not have any loading zones, anything of the sort, which is something we are very much used to these days, right? From all the open world games which have come out and so forth. However, you can still do that entirely wrong. You can cause it so that people with good connections and good computers will experience lag issues when they, go from between essentially where the zones interconnect. Or people with really, really bad connections or really slow computers may have an actual loading screen in those positions even. So, yeah, or just a massive lag spike. So this is something which always needs to be done correctly, and I'm happy that they are really talking about it too. So, another big set of things which has been talked about and done. Fuel/refuel. I am waiting for that. Insurance. We need to start paying insurances in a video game. I'm actually kind of happy with that. It sounds fun. Repair. As long as I don't have to do my taxes, as a freaking paper documents in the game. Because that wouldn't be fun. Alright. Core tech. As you can see, there was nothing here which is really, undone, except for this cockpit experience, which is like an ongoing task. That makes sense to leave it as an ongoing task, which is probably going to last until the game is released and even beyond then. Alright, core tech part. And there is nothing incomplete here either. A whole lot of stuff which is, well, this is all done. Fantastic. UI. Well, ETA to be determined on things like ship selector, insurance claims, vehicle customizers and character customization. I expect all of these things to really start appearing more towards the, more towards when the game actually releases instead of the 3.0, in all honesty. Like, this is just stuff I would rather worry about then instead, and maybe even take out of here, maybe take out of this 3.0 list and put them as a, an ongoing project, which will happen over time. That is one of those personal things. Comm system UI, this is one of those little things which not everybody actually realizes, especially the makers of Korean MMORPGs don't really ever seem to realize this for some reason, where you need really dang good communication system in your video game when you are making a big multiplayer game. Like, saying that there will be like a actual, voice comm built into the game is not enough. Not everybody speaks the same language in the world, for one. not everybody can use voice comms for various reasons, whether they are deaf, whether they just, cannot use voice comms in their house because of background noise, any of millions of different reasons they cannot use voice comms. And also the voice comm may be bad. It's like if it's not very well developed, the voice comm can be horrendous. I have seen examples of video games like this already. And not to mention, many of the big actual clans units, they will obviously use some kind of a third-party voice comm already. So moving on to the in-game voice comm, probably not going to happen for them. And also, for that reason, for the whole, people not being able to use them for various reasons, you need a very good chat system in a game. So yeah, the fact that they are actually talking about the comms system UI gives me hope that this game will have robust enough chat system that you can actually talk things through in the chat, which is fantastic. Too many MMORPGs from various places come with very, very bad, actual in-game chat features. And those suck, alright? Because it's like trying to get people to understand you want to party with them can be a big issue in certain games. Alright. Bug fixing stage in a mission system. So we can finally start doing missions. Fantastic, that sounds fun. Okay, you're giving us a big positive universe already to fly in. Now we can start really doing missions in it. Okay, I am in. And graphics. As you can see, all completed. And on the back end, all completed. Network, same thing here. Ships and weapons, well, we're getting some more new ships. Fantastic. And also new weapons. And then there is the Beyond 3.0 overview. And how many developers actually come out of their way and do something like this for us? Actually give us proper information. This is what we have planned. I am so very, very, very happy about this. I'm like so very happy. Thank you so much for this. Also, I just have to show it off here. I can't wait. Can't wait. This will be awesome. Anyway, that is still a ways off, but hey, I can't wait. Anyway. So overall, the 3.0 update, it has been pushed back multiple times now. And I think for a very good reason. If you look at all of these things which I have scrolled through, which are not like already complete, this is a massive undertaking. And cue arrow jokes about the undertaking. But anyway, there is a lot of stuff here to be done. And imagine the fact that many of these things require their own first of all, their own task / subtask and prioritization and all of that stuff before you can actually really get to doing that particular task. This takes a lot of time, a lot of effort, and a lot of manpower to do. So thank you very much for all of you fine folks who are making this game, and for the information folks to provide us with all of this info. I am so very happy with all of this information. Big thank you, and I can completely and utterly understand why the 3.0 has been pushed back as many times as it has, because we're already seeing a little bit of these things here. I still think that this should have been cut to a smaller pieces, in all honesty. Like, you could have taken certain things out of here and given us 3.0 as a as a smaller thing, instead of trying to lay out all of these things into this one update. But hey, that's my opinion on it. You have done whatever you thought was best, and I'm happy about it, happy with it once it hits us, once we get to experience it and get to play around with it. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully this was a little bit eye-opening to somebody who has not really spent much attention to all of this, because this is a big project with a lot of little things which can go wrong and so on, and we'll have to wait a little bit longer for 3.0, I guess, suppose. Thank you very much for watching, and thank you folks making stuff